Good day, viewers. It's the exponential equations leading to quadratics. And we have question 1 before us. Solve the exponential equation 5 raised to power 2x minus 26 bracket open 5 raised to power x close bracket plus 25 equals 0. As a question, we'll set out this way. We already have 5 raised to power 2x. This 5 raised to power 2x, if you want to break it down, is the same as 5 raised to power 2 times x, or if you like, 5 raised to power x times 2, because 5 raised to power 2 times x is 2x, x times 2 is still 2x. So I prefer to use the second part. I have my reason for that. And as we proceed, you also be seeing the reason with me. So 5 raised to power x times 2 it is, because x times 2 will be 2x, minus 26 rather, pardon me for that, 26 bracket open 5 raised to power x plus 25 equals 0. I'm going to rewrite this again as 5 raised to power x firstly, and then raised to power 2, because according to the law of indices, x will multiply 2 to give us 2x. Now, minus 26 bracket open 5 raised to power x plus 25 equals 0. Now, what do you notice? This is 5 raised to power x. This is 5 raised to power x. This equation is taking what? A little turn. So what do we do from here? We say, let this 5 raised to power x that you are seeing now, which is an index number, you let it to be p. If you like, you can use y. If you like, you can use a. If you like, you can choose b. If you like, you can choose h in your own case. But don't say let 5 raised to power x to be equals to x. Don't make that mistake. You don't use the same variable that has been used before. After the equal sign, you use another variable. So when you let 5 raised to power x to be equals to p, it means that wherever you see 5 raised to power x in this equation, you'll be replacing those with the p. So in the place of 5 raised to power x, we'll be having p. And of course, it will be p squared, because 5 raised to power x being squared is p squared. Then minus 26, in the place of 5 raised to power x, this 26 is multiplying this. So this 26 multiplied by p, 26p. And then plus 25, that's equals to 0. So this has become what? A quadratic equation that you are familiar with. All you need to do is what? Find the value of p in this quadratic equation. And how do we find the value of p? A different method. You can use your factorization method. You can use your formula method. You can use completing the square method. Any of those three, at least for the secondary school level. Okay, so if I'm going to use the factorization method, I'm going to look for two numbers. If I multiply, they'll give me positive 25. And when I add them, they're going to give me negative 26. Of course, those two numbers are negative 1 and negative 25. Minus 1 multiplied by minus 25 is going to give me minus times minus will be plus. 1 times 25 is going to give me plus positive 25. And minus 1 added to minus 25 is going to give me minus 26. So in this case, I'll be having what? P squared minus, so in the place of 26, I will reproduce this 26 with what? Minus 1 and minus 25. So p squared minus 1p, if you will excuse me with that, or for that. Then minus 25p plus 25 equals to 0. Mathematically, I will be penalized for writing minus 1p. But for the sake of the explanation that I'm doing, for you to know that minus 1 minus 25, it actually give us what? Minus 26. That is why I have to include this minus 1 here. So when you see minus p standing alone in mathematics, the coefficient of p is actually what? 1. So take note of that. Okay, so I can bracket this to be p squared minus p in the first bracket added to the second bracket negative 25p plus 25. That must be equal to 0 on the second bracket. Okay, so what is common to these two? Of course, p is common. P squared divided by p is going to be p. Minus divided by plus here is still minus. P divided by p will be 1. Okay, what is common to these two here? That's going to be what? Negative 25. Because if you try to bring out positive 25, positive 25 as a common factor, that's going to be plus 25. And if you say minus 25 divided by plus 25, sorry, minus 25p divided by plus 25, you will left with negative p here. And what you have here is not negative p, but positive p. So negative 25p divided by negative 25. Minus divided by minus will turn to plus. Already make this to be plus. The 95p divided by 25 will be left with what? Only p here. So here is going to be what? P. Plus divided by minus will be minus. 25 divided by 25 is going to be 1. And that's going to be equal to what? 0. Okay. The main target of this question is not how to solve quadratic equation, but how to bring this exponential equation to become a quadratic equation, which we have here. Ordinarily, I'm not supposed to be showing these steps, but for the sake of those that may not have understood this well before now, that's why I'm trying to break everything down. So continuing on this other side, p minus 1 common to both sides, so pick only one of them. So we left with p minus 1, just 1. And then outside this bracket is p. Outside the second bracket is minus 25. Okay, so these two brackets multiply each other to give us what? 0, which is after the equal sign. That's factorization for you. Okay, so if p plus 1 multiplying p minus 1 multiplying p minus 25 equals 0, that we're going to be having. We have p minus 1 equals to 0, or p minus 25 equals to 0. When two numbers are multiplying themselves or multiplying each other, and the result is what? 0. Is either the first number equals to 0, or the second number is equals to 0, or both of them are even equal to what? 0. So if p minus 1 equals to 0, that tells us that p will be equals to what? 1. And if p minus 25 is equals to 0, that tells us that p must be equals to what? 25. Because if minus 25 crosses the equal sign, it becomes what? Plus 25. Not forgetting that five raised to power x is equals to what? P, which was the condition we gave here. It is very important because what we are looking for, the solution of what we are looking for is not p, rather x. So if 5 raised to power x is equals to p, we say when p equals what? 1, means that 5 raised to power x must be equal to what? 1. So this is a ground that this is not familiar with. So we have to bring both of them to what? To the same ground where they are familiar with each other. So this 5 raised to power x will be equal to, this 1 can be expressed at 5 raised to power 0. If this had been 7 raised to power x, then what we are going to have to this other side is going to be 7 raised to power 0. Because that is the ground that 7 raised to power s is going to understand for it to have a level playing field. Okay, so 5 raised to power 0 equals to 1. The two bases are exactly the same as we always do. That implies that what? X equals to 0 for the first solution. And for the second solution, when p equals 25. 5 raised to power x still will now be equals to the value of p here, which is equals to what? 25. Also, 5 raised to power x equals 25 can be expressed as 5 raised to power 2. Again, the two bases are the same. That tells us that what? X equals what? 2. Therefore, the two solutions for this exponential equation are x equals to what? 0 and x equals 2. Very easy. The next question, solve the exponential equation 3 raised to power 2x minus 4 bracket open 3 raised to power x plus 1 plus 27 equals 0. So I'll be doing a lot of what? Splitting here. Follow me. It's very easy. So 3 raised to power 2x is like we saw in question 1. First of all, 3 raised to power x and then raised to power 2. Very easy. Minus 4 multiplying what we have here is 3 raised to power x multiplied by 3 raised to power 1 plus 27 equals 0. Minus 4. This is multiplying the bracket actually. So 3 raised to power x plus 1, according to the first law of indices, 3 raised to power x multiplied by 3 raised to power 1. This can bring us to this. Then this also can be splitted to come back to this particular one. And then plus 27 equals 0. This is the first law of indices. Okay, so we have 3 raised to power x squared minus 4. I'm not going to rush. I'm going to take it very slowly. Multiply by 3 raised to power x. Multiply by 3 raised to power 1 is 3. 4 times 3 raised to power x times 3. Then plus 27 equals to 0. So I have 3 raised to power x being squared minus 4 times 3 here is going to be what? 12 now. Bracket open 3 raised to power x plus 27, and that's going to be equals to 0. I think it has taken shape now. So again, we let 3 raised to power x this time around. Let me make it to be equals to what? Y. Let 3 raised to power x to be equal to y. So this equation becomes y squared minus 12y plus 27. That's going to be equals to 0. So from here I can pick up my speed because we need to save time. So y squared minus 12y plus 27 equals to 0. What are the two numbers? When you multiply them, they will give you plus 27. When you add them, they give you what? Negative 12. The two numbers are negative 3 and negative 9. Minus 3 times minus 9 will give you plus 27. Minus 3 plus minus 9 will give you what? Minus 12. So I'm going to reproduce minus 12 with y squared minus what? 3y minus 9y. Those two numbers that I got there. And then plus 27 equals to 0. Okay, so I bracket them. Y squared minus what? 3y, first bracket, plus negative 9y plus 27 in the second bracket. This must be equals to 0. Okay, so let's factorize them out. Y is common to these two, and that's going to be y bracket open y minus 3 in the first bracket. Negative 9 is common to these two, so we're having minus 9 bracket open y minus 3 also. That's going to be equals to 0 because minus 9 times y will be minus 9y. Minus 9 times minus 3 will give us what? Plus 27. Y times y will be y squared y times negative 3 will be what? Negative 3y. So we have just factorized these two brackets. Give us this. Now you can see what is inside this bracket is exactly the same as what is inside this bracket. Pick only one of them. Y minus 3 multiplying outside there is y, outside there is minus 9. That's going to be equals to 0. So the first value of y equals to what? 3. And the second value of y is going to be what? 9. Very straightforward. But 3 raised to power x equals to what? Y. So when y equals 3 for the first solution of y, so it means that 3 raised to power x must be equals to what? Y, and that must be equals to 3. And of course, that's 3 raised to power x equals to 3 is same as what? 3 raised to power 1. The two bases are exactly the same thing. That implies that what? X equals to 1 in this situation. In the second situation, when y equals what? 9 that we got here, that says 3 raised to power x must be equals to what? 9. And 3 raised to power x, expressing 9 as a humble 3 to some power 2, tells us that what? X will be equals to what? 2. Also seeing that the two bases here are exactly what's the same. Therefore, x equals to 1 and what? X equal 2 are the two solutions for this particular exponential equation. So those are the values of x that make this exponential equation to be truly 0. Thank you.